Welcome back to the Coastal Kitchen. I'm Karen Mashures, and today our menu consists of the perfect steak with Bernaise. We've got green beans with garlic, roasted rosemary potatoes, and for dessert, blueberries and ice cream. Let's get started with the potatoes. Now they need to go into a 350 oven, so let me turn that on real fast. All right, here's what you need for the rosemary potatoes. Very easy. Rosemary, usually if you buy it in the grocery store, has already been taken off the stems, but you can grow your own. I grow mine outside, and I've got 8 stems of rosemary. It's been washed, and I'm going to place it in the bottom of a casserole dish that I have already rubbed with oil. Now, I've got some lovely white new potatoes. They've been washed. And my next step is the messy step. I'm going to take my potatoes and I'm going to rub them in oil. I'm going to just pour some across the top so it can get it started for me. And what I'm going to do is rub in oil, and I'm going to salt all around and pepper. And I'm going to lay that right on top of my rosemary. Just a touch. Whoops, forgot the pepper, and I really like pepper. Want these to sit right on top of the rosemary. Let's get both hands in it. I know I've told you this before, but I use fresh ground pepper. I just put it in my big container because it's easier for me than grinding. Okay. I've got enough salt and pepper on my hands right now just to rub it in good. We're going to get all these done real fast. Right now is a great time for vegetables, so whatever ones you choose, the ones that you like, be they red or be they the white or the yellow Yukon type potatoes, you can do this with even the big baking type potatoes. Cut them in quarters, rub them with oil, and put them on top of rosemary, and they are fabulous. Let's get this one more little bit of pepper on top, and we're going to pop them right into the oven. They're going to stay in here about 45 minutes to an hour, depending upon how large your potatoes are. Okay, we've got the potatoes in. Now it's time to start with our steak. Let me grab these few little things. Here's what you need for the steak. You'll never believe what we're going to do. And this trick came from a magazine that was published about 25 years ago. I have taken regular old cornstarch, half a cup of salt, and mixed it together. And what you're going to do, I've got this beautiful filet. You can use any kind of steak you like. It's up to you, so it's how you like it. This steak goes right into this mixture. I want you to coat all sides. Looks strange to think about doing this to a steak, but this is what really makes the crust form, and it's just like you've gone to one of the finest steak restaurants in the country. All right, we're going to wrap it in saran wrap, and it's going to go into the freezer for half an hour. So we're going to let this sit for just a minute. I've got one in the freezer. So let me grab that real quick, and we'll get that in the pan. All right. Let's get this unwrapped. And I'm going to take a little bit of oil, a little bit of olive oil, and put in my pan. I want it to get nice and hot. I'm going to take a little bit of butter and get that in the pan. Just a little bit. I like butter, so that's why I put it in there. It just makes the flavor a little bit better to me. We're going to let that get hot. I want to look at my potatoes just a moment. Smells good, folks. Okay. Once we put this steak in, we're going to leave it for 5 minutes on each side. You can see how everything's melting. And while it's in the pan, I'm going to put a little bit more salt and pepper on it. Okay? So it's starting to bubble now. And we're going to pop that right in. And it's going to get hot real fast. Let's get some of that pepper. Truthfully, I've had a lot of steaks in my lifetime, and one of the best steaks that I've ever had comes out of a cast iron skillet. And I love using cast iron because it conducts the heat so well. Got a little tip for you that I learned when I was up at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. I was there for a little cooking class, and they said the way to tell how done you want your steak is real easy. Take your hand, hold it very naturally, and press right in the ball part of your thumb area. That's rare. If you lightly touch your first finger, medium rare. Medium, medium well, and well done. And you can feel the differences in the textures. And if you try that, and then try that with your steak, you'll be really surprised. It works. Let me get one of these. Okay, everything's working. So we're going to let that set for just a minute and hear from our sponsors. So we'll be back in a few minutes while this steak is cooking.
ATMC TV and the Coastal Kitchen would like to say thank you to our sponsors at Food Lion, your neighborhood grocery store. Since 1957, Food Lion has been offering the highest quality products at low prices with great service. Swing by your local Food Lion today to find all the ingredients needed to make the meal featured on this week's show.
Welcome back. It's time to make our garlic green beans. They're a great addition to any meal, but they're wonderful with steak. For the green beans, you'll be using let me put about 2 tablespoons in my pan here. I've used a real shallow frying pan, and I found that it steams the green beans wonderfully. Let's get that oil all over the bottom. And we'll get that working while we cut our garlic. You're going to need 3 to 5 cloves of garlic, and I like it with more garlic. So let's get started breaking it down. Remember when I told you, just give it a good smash to get all the peelings off the garlic, and then you're ready to cut. There we go. Garlic has such a wonderful aroma. It's one of my favorite things to cook with. All right, let's just slice it down, nice thin pieces. You want to really be able to distinguish the garlic from the green beans. Don't want to get them too done either. Want them to remain just a little bit. Underdone. All right, we've got that going. I'm going to cut up another one because I think I need a little bit more than that. The green beans have been washed. I've cut the tip ends off, and they're going to cook for about 4 minutes. Make them nice and crispy, but you don't want them mushy. All right, that's going fast. All right, the edges of that garlic has gotten nice and brown. I'm going to turn that down to low, and we're going to throw in our green beans. Doesn't take long at all. That's the moisture from the green beans. And we're just going to let that simmer for a minute. Let's slide that back over here. I'm going to wash my hands because I've got garlic all over them. And we're going to go on to our Bernaise sauce. And Bernaise is a wonderful complement to any meat. I really think that it goes well with seafood and chicken too, but today it's going with our steak. Our ingredients for the Bernaise sauce are it's a nice creamy sauce, originated in France, and the thing that distinguishes it is the tarragon. And tarragon, this is a little bit of tarragon right here. It has a anise type flavor. It's a little bit licoricey. It's wonderful aroma goes into this sauce that just makes the steak pop. Okay, let's get started. Now I do this the old-fashioned way. I'm going to take one egg at a time. Get my yellow. And it goes in that bowl. And I've used eggs that have been out of the refrigerator for about 15 minutes because I don't want them to be too cold. And when you separate your eggs and you keep them in a separate bowl, you can also tell if something's not quite right with your egg. This is the fun part. These egg whites, we're going to save too, because I have all sorts of uses for egg whites. Don't want to waste. All right. We have got our 5 eggs. I'm going to wash my hands real fast here. And I'm going to look at my green beans because they are doing a great job here. All right. Let's just toss them around just a little bit. And I'm going to get them on just a little bit lower. All right, we're going to take our eggs and we're going to take about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Not very much because it's a dish that picks up salt very easily. So we've got about 1/8 of a teaspoon and we are whisking. And with this, you just have to whisk away. The trick here is to whisk using your whole arm, not your wrist, because your wrist gets real tired. So we're just going to whisk until these eggs get nice and thick. And it takes a little bit of time. Bernaise is not an easy sauce to make, but this is the quick version, and it's a whole lot easier than the one that you put on the stove. All right, we've got these all whisked up. Now I'm going to just set this aside for a moment because we've got to do a little bit of prep work for our sauce. I'm using a shallot, and a shallot's from the onion family. It's a little milder, and it's really a tasty addition. I'm just going to cut that one piece off because we're only using a small amount of shallot. You can use an onion if you choose to. I really like the shallots in this sauce because they are milder. And we're going to cut this up really nice here, and we're going to dice. Just one. All sorts of rough chop here, but we're going to get it nice and small. And if anybody knows a secret about cutting up an onion to where you really don't start to tear up, let me know, because I still haven't found anything that works. Okay, we've got our shallot. Now we're going to cut up about a tablespoon of parsley. Just another rough chop. And if you roll it up, you can put it together and just give it a good chop here. All right. Rinse my hands off just a second. I'm going to turn my green beans down because I don't want them to get too done. Give them a little shake. That's how you lose weight in the kitchen. You just do a little shake. You know how that goes. All right. Now, we're going to whisk a little bit more here. And we're going to put in a tablespoon of tarragon vinegar. Now, I mentioned tarragon earlier. We're whisking the whole time while we're putting this in. Tarragon has that wonderful licorice flavor, and that's what distinguishes this sauce from a hollandaise. And now I've got to get some chilled oil, and I've got vegetable oil in my refrigerator. It's been chilling for about 3 hours, and we're going to drizzle that in nice and slowly. All right, here comes the oil. Whisk the whole time and just let it drizzle. Now, my bowl is moving on my counter, so here's a little trick. Just take a tea towel, put it underneath your bowl, and things won't move. Okay, look at that beautiful yellow color. Doesn't it look great? Now, I'm going to add my shallot, and if you prefer onion, that's great, but I'm whisking away. I'm going to put my parsley in and keep whisking. And now we're going to use our butter. We've got 6 tablespoons of butter that I have melted, and I have clarified, but I am going to add a tablespoon in at a time, let it absorb, and start to thicken. Now, this is a sauce that you need to either use right away or keep in the refrigerator until you're ready to use it. All right, here we go. And this is a little bit time-consuming, but it is well worth it when you start to taste. Nearly there. And let me get this last bit out because I don't want to waste any. Get all 6 tablespoons in. And sometimes you might want to add just a touch of lemon juice. It enhances the flavor a little bit. I love to add that little bit of lemon, but that's not something that you have to do to make a proper Bernaise. Now look at this. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to add just a touch of lemon juice. And we're ready to put this in a sweet little bowl to serve with our steak. We're going to be back in just a few minutes, and I'll show you exactly how our wonderful steak dinner will look tonight.
ATMC TV and the Coastal Kitchen would like to say thank you to our sponsors at Holden Brothers Farm Market in Charlotte for supplying the fresh produce on this week's show. For over 25 years, the Holden Brothers Farm Market has specialized in the freshest locally grown produce on their 250 acres in Charlotte. Swing by their indoor market located near mile marker 10 on Highway 17 or check them out online at holdenbrothersfarmmarket.com.
All right, we're back and we're ready to plate all of our beautiful recipes. We've got our green beans. Let's get those on our plate. Get a couple pieces of garlic with that. Just mound them up. They look so pretty. We're going to take our steak. I think I'll cut it open just so you can see what it looks like. It's had a little bit of a rest. Look at the crust on that steak. This is a fillet. And this is a medium finish. A medium finish. Let's get it on the plate. I've got your Bernaise right on the side, and let's get our potatoes out of the oven. The rosemary, it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. The potatoes are ready. They have a beautiful, beautiful finish. And the skins, again, are wonderful to eat. They're so tasty. Okay, take a look at that. Now what we're going to do is get ready to make our blueberry dessert. Let's put this over here. The blueberries and ice cream only combine a few ingredients, but they make the most wonderful taste. Here's what you need. I need my pot, and I need to turn this on to medium heat. I'm going to put my water and my sugar into my pan so it can start melting down. That's a half a cup of sugar and a fourth of a cup of water. Let me get a knife. And I'm going to cut this lemon right in half and squeeze about half the juice of one lemon into the water. I'm going to do a fourth of it right now, and I'm going to reserve that for just a second. Let me get rid of some of these little dirty dishes, get those out of the way. And I've got my blueberries. They're washed. They're ready to go. That water should be getting ready to boil. It's doing real well. Okay, this almost turns into a simple syrup. And what we're going to do is we're going to stir this until it melts. And it's nearly there. You can do this not only with blueberries, but you can do it with other berries too. So any berry that you like is the one that you should use. You might have a little bit of a difference in cooking time, Okay, almost ready. You can't see into this pot right now, but everything's boiling and the sugar is just about all melted. What we're going to do is we're going to throw these blueberries in and start stirring again. Don't want them to bust open, but want them to get warm through and through. We're going to let them come up about 5 minutes. And when we take them off, they'll make a beautiful syrup over vanilla bean ice cream. That's the way I like it. All right, looks like our blueberries are done. Let's turn this heat off. And we're just going to let them sit for just a minute. And I'm going to grab my ice cream. I've got vanilla bean ice cream, and I've got some ginger cookies and some fresh mint. And this is real easy to grow. If you've never tried growing mint, stick a plant in. You'll have more than you could ever want. All right, I'm going to put these blueberries right over the top. A nice, generous portion. You can see that some of them have popped, and some of them still look whole. Let's make this look pretty. And how about a cookie on the side? Oh, let's make it two. What the heck? Okay. It's a real easy dessert. It looks great and it tastes wonderful. I'm going to try it in just a second. Remember, you can search for us on Facebook. You can email us at atmctv@atmccoop. And it's all in how you like it. So enjoy. We'll see you next time on the Coastal Kitchen. It's good.
This is ATMC TV Channel 3. We bring you the best of Brunswick.
We're back at the Coastal Kitchen, and we've had some questions this week from our viewers. Stephen in Supply says, how do you know your pork is done? Well, pork is considered a white meat, and usually between 140 degrees and 165 degrees, it should be just fine. You can use a thermometer, a meat thermometer, to gauge that. And remember, if it's a little pink, it's okay. It's not something you have to worry about. Tanya in Calabash, her comment was, I'm a huge chocolate fan and would love to make some kind of chocolate tart instead of the lemon. What could I use? Thinking about it, making it a quick and easy dessert, use one of the chocolate puddings available, already made. You might make it a little bit more interesting by taking a little Hershey's Kiss and putting it in there before you put the pudding. Or add a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, the little minis, they're great. And for the mint lover, how about one of the peppermint patties right on the side? That would be a great addition. But experiment, have fun with it. Even try a chocolate mousse. Our next question is from Margaret at Holden Beach. My family is now obsessed with grilled peaches, thanks to you. Could I grill other fruit besides peaches? You know, I think I'd try maybe nectarines or plums. You could use the same recipe as with the peaches, and maybe even some pineapple would be great. All of those things you could possibly enhance with some ice cream too. So have fun, don't be afraid to experiment, and remember, it's all in how you like it.
Is 6:30 too early for a Get Fit workout? Are your weeknights too hectic to catch West Brunswick football? Find yourself missing all your favorite ATMC TV shows? Well, now you don't have to. ATMC TV is airing all their latest shows on demand. Stop, pause, fast forward, or rewind. Watch your shows on your time. Tune to Channel 1 to see shows like Get Fit, Tea Time, Community Spotlight, and more. Stay connected to beautiful Brunswick County with ATMC TV on demand. Brought to you free by ATMC.